Hi everyone, we are on day 23 of our little nativity challenge and I'm going to do a snow scene. One of my favourite carols is In the Bleak Midwinter, so I'm thinking of a lovely snow scene. I'm still using the same palette. I'm still using the same concertina pad of paper. I'm going to use some of the colours we've got squirted in here. So this first one is Permanent Rose. So I've wet the sky. I'm going to come in with a little bit of the Permanent Rose. I'm using a round number 6. And I want a bit of a rough edge here. So we've got a nice sort of snowy bank. I've not gone all the way to the edge of the paper. I still want to create a little bit of a border. This is Prussian blue or intense blue. It's the one we used yesterday for the angel, which you can half see on here because I can't fold them away. I'm going to get a really nice, cool sunset sky. So I'm just making sure that I'm spending some time getting a nice border on here so that it fits nicely with the pad and the overall finished gift, which I'm really pleased with. So I'm just running in some of that Prussian blue. I'm going to pick up a little bit of Payne's grey. Bring that towards the top. It's always good to have a little bit towards the top. You can see I'm using a circular motion. And I'm going to bring a little bit through to blend here. Don't want it to just all be one colour. And I'm going to get some standard table salt. Sprinkle some into my hand and sprinkle a bit of that on. Just lightly sprinkle. That's going to give us a nice snowy effect. And then I'm going to grab my trusty knitting needle. Just start to create some tree branches. So this is just indenting the paper. You can use anything that will indent the paper. It's like you're drawing onto the paper and it's going to be giving you a really nice indent for the paint to run into. So you can do some shrubby bits, you can do some trees. Just pop in a few lines. And we're going to let that dry. Actually, whilst that is starting to dry, I can just take a little bit of colour into the snow. So I'm leaving about a ½ centimetre gap between the sky and the snow so that they don't blend together. I've still got that nice hard edge. And then I just want to take in a little bit of a similar glow. So I'm going to take in a little bit of the rose. I'm not going to take in the grey, just a little bit of the Prussian blue. Right, if it comes and it's too much, you're going to rinse your brush, dab it off, not panic. And just take a little bit off. So this is just working with a damp brush and I'm lifting the paint off. And have a little bit of shadow down in this bottom corner. So that's got a really nice sort of snowy shadowed effect now. Okay, so that's nicely dried and it's got a beautiful effect. You just got to rub the salt off a little bit. You can see the indents that have created these little branches already. What I'm going to do is twizzle upside down, just because I find it easier to paint this way. I'm just going to move that over this way. Put my kitchen towel there. Okay, so you can see everything. I'm going to come on and create a nice tree as well. So this is a little bit of burnt sienna. You can use burnt sienna, you can use sepia. This is a round number 6 brush. I'm just bringing that in. You can use a little bit of Payne's grey as well. Nicely darken that up. So I'm just dabbing into a little bit of Payne's grey that's on here. This is my rigger now. Bring that down that one side. I'm not eliminating the lighter branches behind, I'm just going to add to it. So this is all now adding depth. And I'm working with my rigger, using a little bit of the paint that's in there and a little bit of Payne's grey, and I'm pulling out to create more branches. Staggering those branches. Come back into a little bit more Payne's grey if I need to. Just want to make them a little bit darker. Nice and fine, resting on my little finger. I find it much easier to paint to a point doing it this way. And from the feedback that I get from you guys, you do too, which is good. You find this tip really helpful. So I'm staggering where those branches come off, so I'm getting a different branch every single time. I'm also going to bring in some little bits here. These could be brambly bits. This is with the Payne's grey again and my rigger, nice and fine. Practice how fine you can get each of these strokes. Then I'm going to twizzle back round again. Move everything out of the way. So you can see that that's working really, really nicely. So I'm going to get a clean, just damp brush. I'm just dabbing it off. This is my round number 6. And I'm just going to touch the bottom of that tree and drag the paint a little bit further so it's now into the ground. And I can do the same with those little bits there. So just a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and it all then holds together as really nicely grounded. You can add as many more branches as you like. It's got a lovely feel to it now, so I don't want to do too much more. I'm just going to bring a little bit of the blue just this way to create a bit of shadow, and then with the rigger, so this is that same blue we've used in the sky. So I'm basically mirroring what's above to create this nice shadow. It doesn't have to be exact, just a little bit will do the job. It gives a really nice effect. Okay, so that's it. We're back for our final day tomorrow on day 24.